place you don't want to be, aka in the process of building a hotel and buying equipment in the Philippines. It's a nightmare, compounded each day by an additional nightmare from basically every source of building equipment that you can source out to buy the equipment from. Every single source for now going on a year and a half has failed for one reason or another. I could get involved with each item detailed, but I will tell you this. If you're planning on buying equipment and importing it from China, in today's world, forget that. Just forget it. Don't even just put it in and out of your consciousness. It is not going to happen, and I'll tell you why. And then we'll get to our more recent order, which I've ordered from 4 different companies on about 12 occasions, and all of the orders failed or were not what they were supposed to be, or didn't give me the information I requested in order to get the order to me. And all of them said one thing, but their actual reality of it is another thing altogether. So let's just go over why you can't order anything from China. So originally I had an order coming from China because the 2-in-1 rebar bender from Richmark Industries, which I have now paid for, and they have canceled because of their own lack of due diligence to follow up on the order. I ordered it and paid for it in August of 2021, and that order failed. They said they were out of stock after I ordered the item. Then they said they'd have stock again in September, but it turned out to be October. So I ordered and paid for the item on October 13th. That order failed because of a glitch in my credit card. Plenty of money in the credit card, but it was not accepted. Apparently there's a switch in your debit card that says you can buy online that no one knew about. So I ordered it again on the 14th. That's 3 times. But let's digress back for a moment why you can't order anything from China. So originally, after my August 27th order to buy the 2-in-1 rebar bender by Belton, Belton, which is the one I want, for 185,900 pesos plus 7,500 for shipping. Well, Richmark Industries asked me to cancel the order on August 27th, and they would sell me the item on the side, because otherwise they were going to have to charge me an additional 28,000 pesos that was not on LAZADA's website. And I didn't want to pay an extra $600, so I canceled the order. I made arrangements to meet with them in Manila 6 days later, and when I called up the following day saying I was making reservations to go to Manila to pick up the item myself, they said, "Sorry, sir, we sold the item." So within 12 hours after I canceled the order, and they promised that they would sell me the order, they canceled the order and sold it to somebody else. They never had any intention on selling it to me because I didn't want to pay the extra 28,000 pesos for shipping. Okay, that's all noted in emails. That's all going to LAZADA, all of it. I have every email that I've ever sent to them. The only thing I don't have is the verbal request for an additional 28,000 pesos. Be that as it may. Comes October 13th, it's back online. I didn't get a notice like they said they would, but I saw it online because I was shopping for it online for that bender, and it popped up. I bought it instantly. Well, there was a glitch in my debit card. So I held on to the order, but what they did after I put my details of who was buying the order through LAZADA's chat is they contacted me privately on the telephone, again, for the second time, asking me to cancel the order because they had a problem with the price in the shipping. And I said, well, what is the problem? And they said, the problem, sir, is that we have to add 28,000 pesos to the shipping manifest. We made a mistake in the cost of the shipping. Now, first of all, the price of the shipping from Richmark Industries verbally was always between 8 and 10,000 pesos. The price of the shipping on LAZADA was always 7,500 pesos. So how could there be a difference of 28,000 pesos if the shipping was never going to be more than 10,000 pesos? It was a scam to defraud LAZADA of their commission. So in other words, if I bought it through LAZADA, LAZADA is going to take say a 10% commission, I guess, maybe 15%. I don't know. They won't tell me. And that was going to come out of the bottom line of Richmark Industries. However, I would not cancel the order. And I called them back and said, no, I will not cancel the order. I told them I had to think about it, and I thought about it for about 10 minutes, and I said, I will not cancel the order. And he plainly said, this guy, his name is Mark, he plainly said, if you don't agree to pay us the other 28,000 pesos, there's going to be a lot of problems to process your order. And I said, I don't care. I have an agreement with LAZADA. You ship that item to me. From that day forward, there has never been any cooperation from Richmark Industries to get the order shipped. Everything has been a song and a dance, a promise, and a failed promise, and basically subterfuge and lies. There's never been anything but on that order. So my order, my debit card on the 13th didn't work, so I used a different debit card on the 14th when I made sure the funds were in that account. I went straight to the bank. On the morning of the 14th, I confirmed that the money I transferred into that second bank was there, and they confirmed it was there, and they confirmed I would be able to use my debit card for up to 200,000 pesos. Not a problem. I come home, I order the machine. The order goes through. It took about a minute for the order to go through. Once I put the credit card information and my personal information, took about a minute, and I got a notification that your order has been processed. But again, Richmark Industries and I spoke on the phone, and they still wanted an additional, somehow they wanted me to cancel the order again, which I did the first time and I lost the item. But this was a cancel the order with a twist. Richmark said, and I have the email, perhaps you can send your agent, my agent. Do I look like a corporate executive that has agents working for them in Manila? Perhaps you can send your agent, and she, he assumed it was a woman, can bring us 223,000 pesos. And then we will ship the item directly to you. So there we go back. It's going to cost me another $600, and I have to give a company, an unknown company. I don't know who they are. They don't have a website. They don't have a Facebook page. They don't have a record of, sending out orders. I don't know who these people are. So they're asking me for 223,000 pesos. That's $500 to give it to them by a third-party agent that, of course, I would have to pay for. And they guarantee me they'll ship out the order. So I said, no, I won't do that. So instead of sending out the order like they have an agreement with LAZADA to ship on time. There is an agreement between the seller and the and LAZADA, that once they put the item on LAZADA's website, they have an agreement that they have to fulfill a purchase order within a certain amount of days. So when those days were almost up on October 20th, from the 14th, that was 6 days, the woman, the idiot that worked for Richmark Industries, or so Mark said it was the woman, Rochelle, said, apparently, according to Mark and according to LAZADA, Rochelle ordered a motorcycle to pick up a package that weighed under 80 kilos, when in fact the order weighed, well, I've gotten 4 different numbers, but for as little as 167 kilos to as much as 265 kilos. However, that could be eliminated because Mark and Rochelle ordered the item from China, and on the purchase order from China, the weight of the item is listed because it has to go through customs and it has to be the correct weight. So that was a lie, that she didn't know what the weight was. It was a lie. And then it was incompetence that she ordered a motorcycle to pick up something you need a boom truck for. So the order did not go out on the 20th. And they said that there was a problem with the pickup. Now, all this time, between the 14th and the 20th, I have 3 more emails stating, we have a problem, Sir Michael. We don't know how much the item weighs. That's a lie, because it's on the purchase order from China. We have a problem, Sir Michael. We don't have a means to put it on a truck. That's a lie, because LAZADA sends a truck capable of picking up whatever you wish to have them deliver. And then we have a problem, sir. LAZADA doesn't have a truck that can pick up this item because it's a bulky item. Those were the words. That's a lie, because LAZADA can handle up to several thousand pounds. This is only 200 plus or minus 30 kilos. So that's a lie. So on the 14th, Rochelle, again, Mark blamed Rochelle. She ordered a van without a boom truck, a boom on the van. And the order was not picked up for the second time. And then Supercenter for LAZADA canceled it because they'll only send out a pickup twice. So they canceled it. Eventually, within 5 business days of October 22nd, when Supercenter, which is a department in LAZADA, canceled the order, within 5 business days, I did get my refund. It went into my bank. However, I had already bought it again because LAZADA assured me the money was coming back to me. So I said, well, I'll just buy the order again, because Mark Anthony promised that this time he's going to get the order right. And that was on October 27th. So I paid for the item once, didn't get my money back, but I was sure I was going to get it back. And then I paid for the item a second time, an additional 193,331 pesos twice. I paid for the order. Well, I did get my money back the very next day. Well, the very day the woman said the very day LAZADA said I would get my money back, that afternoon the money was returned. So I trusted LAZADA, and they sent it back on time. But when I ordered it on the 14th again, when I ordered it again on the 22nd, I paid for it a second time. Mark said he is in charge of everything. Everything will go smooth. Well, it didn't go smooth. It was 5 more days before Supercenter was supposed to pick up the order, and Mark had specific instructions that on the 27th or the 28th, when the truck came, there would be no barcode label involved. Whatever the barcode label was on the order, it would be negated, and that Mark had to take the information off the barcode, scan it, and then put it on a pickup order. How much it weighed, where it was going. It all had to be done on a separate sheet made out to the pickup agent, Ninja, in duplicate. 3 different items in duplicate that were going to be handed to the pickup truck. So barcode and scanning, they were sent an email on the 26th that there would be no barcode and scanning. There would be you would have to have the paperwork in triplicate, at which time the driver would sign one and give you back a copy, and the driver would take 2, the pickup driver. Well, on the 29th, the Ninja sent the truck, and they didn't have the paperwork ready. And Ninja couldn't scan the barcode. Just like LAZADA said, we're not going to use the barcode. It's not scannable. For whatever reason, the SKU number on the barcode was not right. It could have been a wrinkle. It could have been a scratch in the paper of the barcode. It could have been any one of a number of things. So they didn't have the paperwork ready again on purpose. They didn't have the paperwork ready. This was done on purpose. This is not. They had a message from LAZADA having it in triplicate. I called him up telling him he had to have it in triplicate. I wrote it in an email. It had to be in triplicate. And of course, LAZADA wrote it in an email that they had to have it in triplicate. So he didn't do that. And the order failed again. And he said, don't worry, we'll send it back out on the 30th. Well, on the 30th, the order was rejected, and now the order is canceled for a 5th time. Or 5 times the order failed. So I would suggest that, well, I wrote them the longest letter you ever saw for complaining. I wrote all of these items down, every single item down. I have all the emails in dated order. All the emails that I sent to him stating that this problem started on October 14th when you wanted an additional 28,000 pesos, or there was going to be problems. I have it all in email format, and I'm going to send all of, I think there's about 12 emails that are pertinent to what I'm talking about. I'm going to send those. Well, I'll check it out right now. I think there's 12. 12 emails, I believe. Let's just find out. We'll go back to my inbox. I have inbox 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 total, 12. 12 emails with all this information in it. I'm going to send it to LAZADA. They're not going to do anything. The only thing that they might do is that, being that the shipper has failed his obligation to ship 5 times, Richmark Industry has failed 5 times to ship out their order in a timely fashion. Apparently, the shipper has an obligation to fulfill their orders. I don't know what that means. All I know is that what it cost me is over 50 hours of my time. And now, Mark is telling me again, let's just wait for your money to get refunded, and we'll do this again in 3 or 4 days when my money gets refunded. This guy has a clear head. So what did I do? I wrote him a letter. All the emails are going to LAZADA. A person on my channel said last week, why don't you try to buy this machine from Alibaba? So I have failed miserably on Alibaba because buying equipment from Alibaba means importing it from China. Importing it from China means you have to have a customs broker. I got one. So for $4,000, it was $3,825 for the order, but let's just say it was $4,000. For $4,000 worth of tools I ordered from China, they wanted, for sure, $4,000 of import fees, but 3 of those items were just guesstimates. Could be plus or minus $600 on 3 items. So it could have been $5,800 of import fees on $4,000 worth of machinery, or it could have been $2,800 in import fees on $4,000 worth of machinery, but no guarantee it would be either one, so I wouldn't do that. So I went back to LAZADA, Alibaba, and I spoke with Jenna Liu, and she said, "Sir, we don't have that machine. We have a distributor in the Philippines that can sell you that machine directly from the Philippines. Now, it's supposed to be a Belton, Belton, and they are in the Philippines." So she gave me a legitimate number, and I called Mr. Chung this morning, telling him I wanted a Belton. They don't have the 2-in-1 bender, but I'll take the RB32 bender alone with a separate handheld bender, an RC32 cutter handheld. And the RB32 bender was $2,200. I agreed. Send me a link to the item with the specifications. And then he agreed to do that. And here is what he did. He sent it out within 10 minutes with something that he calls his business's history. So let's go over the problems with dealing with Mr. Chung. This is just part of the epic fails to get equipment from China. So I told Mr. Chung I want a Belton. Jessica, her name was Jessica Liu. Jessica Liu said it's going to be a Belton. I see a picture of a blue box in a warehouse covered with plastic that he's asking me to forward him $2,200. I'll show you the picture. This is beyond irrational. I'm not going to do it, of course, but the other option is to go to Zamboanga. Oh, the warehouse is in Zamboanga, which I have no problem going to. However, I don't want to go to Zamboanga. It's a day's journey. If I take a plane into Davao, it's 12 or 14 hours on a bus. If I take a boat there, it's 24 hours on a boat. I don't want to go there. I'm not afraid to go there. I just don't want to spend all that time traveling. Let me show you the picture he sent me. This is these people in the Philippines. They have a clear head. He's asking me to send a stranger $2,200, even after I told him I want a Belton, and he said, okay. He's sending me a picture of a Belton is orange, the machine, and it has certain logos on it that says it's a Belton. This is what he sent me. This is a trip. This guy he's a trip. Okay, let me find this email. E.M. Chung, RB32 rebar bender. Here we go. This is the email. So this is a blue box, the RB32, and then I can review it. But I asked them for the specifications. There are no specifications. It's a picture of a blue box in a warehouse. Let me open that up. Okay, oh, I pushed the wrong button. Here, let's preview that. Let's preview it, all right? And let me make sure my email isn't in there. Let's expand the page. Okay, we expanded the page. And this is a picture of what I got. A blue box with some plastic on it that says rebar bender, RB32, 175 kilos, gross weight 203 kilos with the packing crate and the size. So, instead of sending me the specifications like I asked for, he sent me a picture of a blue box with some plastic, over the blue box. Now, why won't I buy this machine? This is the scams they got running. That blue box, I asked them for the specifications and, of course, the manufacturer. Because eventually I'm going to need parts for this machine. Maybe on day one. Maybe that machine is left over from 2018. Maybe there are no parts available for it. Then I'd have to have a machine shop make the parts. Maybe the machine is just a piece of garbage and every time I turned it on it would break. Probably not. But that's possible. Either way, I have two choices. I can go to Zamboanga, test the machine, and if it works, pay him, and then bring it back on a ship, which is 23 hours of me being on a ship there and 23 hours back. And, of course, I'd probably spend a couple of days in Zamboanga, but that's not the point. The point is I told him I wanted a Belton machine. The point is he said, yes, sir, we have a 32 RB bender. But he didn't say Belton, but he said we have a 32 RB bender. And then he's sending me in the body of the email directions on how to send him $2,200. And this is what you got going for you here. This is it. And the people that are out there saying, Fazio can't build the hotel, he can't even order a rebar bender, that's almost true, but it's not my fault. It's not my fault that Mark Anthony tried to extort me for 28,000 pesos and then he could make the order go smooth. It's not my fault that LAZADA can't make Mark Anthony fulfill his agreement. It's not my fault that Mark Anthony doesn't know how to ship stuff, doesn't know how to look at the purchase order that he has to look at the weight bill of lading from the customs. It's not my fault that Rochelle from Mark Anthony ordered a motorcycle instead of a boom truck. It's not my fault. And this is all documented. So what I'm going to do is I gave Mark Anthony, I told him what I was going to do. I told him what I was going to do. I told him I put all the emails together and I will be in touch with LAZADA, who now escalated it to their above customer service, which means nothing because this is the second time they escalated it to above customer service. And the first time they gave me lip service for 3 days and the order was still canceled. So LAZADA is... the incompetence in LAZADA is beyond astounding, and Mark Anthony is just not going to sell it through LAZADA at the agreed price. He wants an additional 28,000 pesos. That's confirmed now, considering how many times I've spoken with him on the phone and how many mails and how much information he's got to ship it out correctly, and it's never gone out correctly. So if you ever plan on doing business with Richmark Industries, that would be up to you. I'll leave that up to you because I won't do business with them again. Of course, if they put it up on, I really want that machine. And to be honest with you, to buy two separate machines is going to cost me more. So maybe I won't have a choice but to buy it from them for the 6th time. Maybe I won't have a choice. And maybe as long as I get my money back, what could I say? I get my money back. It didn't cost me nothing but time, but it is costing me a lot of time. I estimate more than 50 hours. At this time, more than 50 hours in phone calls, of which I've called Mark Anthony and Richmark Industries 500 times on redial since August 27th. They've answered the phone about a dozen times. They've never told me the truth, and they never fulfilled any agreements that they made. So let me go to my chat and see what's going on there. So the people that are saying I can't even order a rebar bender, do you think I just rattled off all that information because I'm incompetent? No, I rattled it off because I did that, and their incompetence has caused me nothing but problems. And where to go from here? Who knows where to go from here? I'm going to call back. My next phone call, of course, will be to LAZADA, and and to send them the 12 emails that I have, and I don't know where to go from there. There's no real resolve on this. All right, I see one comment. Andrew. Well, you know, my hope, Andrew, thank you for stopping by. My hope is that there will be enough documented complaints by me to LAZADA saying that the shipper failed to ship on time and in a present manner, and that the 12 emails that I have from the shipper, that he was notified to have 3 copies of the paperwork ready for the truck and didn't. He ordered a motorcycle. She ordered a motorcycle instead of a truck. They ordered a van instead of a truck. They don't know how to weigh it. It's on the bill of lading. They don't know how to pick it up. Not their concern. LAZADA picks it up with their own truck. They don't know how. LAZADA doesn't have a truck that can pick it up. That's a lie. LAZADA has trucks that can pick it up. My own personal wish is that LAZADA just refuses to put their items on LAZADA's website. That's all I can ask. And in the meantime, until I see that happen, I will probably make a video designating Richmark as iffy at best to make an order from. I think most people, if they order something from Richmark through LAZADA, they're going to go through the same thing that I went through. Richmark is going to try to cut out LAZADA's commission, and they're not going to get the item unless they agree to pay an additional shipping fee. So with that, I'm going to go. I don't think I have anything else to say about the order. The order is just a disaster from day one. And Mr. Chung, just to give you another idea of what it's like doing business here in the Philippines, it's almost impossible to get a straight answer from anybody. Being clear as day, Mr. Chung, I want a Belton RB32. Yes, sir, we have an RB32. But he didn't say the word Belton. So he sent me an email. I said, Mr. Chung, I want a link with the specs on the machine. Is the machine 223 phase? Because if it is, I wouldn't even be able to use it. If it's a 3-phase unit, it will cost me an additional $4,000 to put 2 transformers, not on the telephone pole outside, because there is no telephone pole that'll hold 3 more transformers. I have to install a telephone pole next to my property for 100,000 pesos. And then I have to pay 150,000 pesos or $3,000 for 2 more transformers, 75,000 pesos each. So it would cost me $5,000 to get the electric for a 3-phase machine to my property. And I asked him for the specifications, and most of these machines come at 3-phase. I don't know if you could change it back down to a single phase. Some motors you're able to change from 110 to 220 or 220 to 110, but I don't know about changing of phases from single to three-phase or three-phase to single. I have no idea. It's just a group of wires that you move around on a block with nuts and bolts, or nuts on top of posts, and you move them around, and you can change the voltage and sometimes the phasing. I don't know anything about that. I know nothing about changing it. So when I asked him for the specifications, that's why. So he agreed to send it, but didn't send it. Another scam. So what if I went to Zamboanga and spent a day on a ship, and however much it cost, 1,500 pesos, and then I had to spend a day coming back? That's 3,000 pesos in 3 or 4 days, and it was the wrong phase. What would I do? What is he going to do? He's going to say, sorry, sir. They don't care. They don't care about your time. That's why he didn't send me the specifications, because he doesn't care about my time. Gotta go. Thanks, Andrew. Everybody, I'm going to keep this posted. Anybody that wants to comment is free to comment. Feel free. This place is a nightmare to do business with. There is nothing rational. In America, with the emails and confirmations of denial of requests to pick this up, and the emails that say why the order was canceled, in America, I could bring Richmark Industries to the Better Business Bureau, and they would have to somehow compensate me for my time, and they would be penalized from the Better Business Bureau. But here in the Philippines, might as well talk to a brick wall. Gotta go. This is Michael Fazio from the Philippines, baby, telling you that if you're going to do business with Richmark Industries, if you have dice, should be named Skidmark Industries. Yeah, I mean, that's about how much King of Clowns. King of Clowns. Immediately. I could do that from here. King of Clowns. I complain with legitimate complaints. What you are is a troll. And what just happened to you will never happen again. No. Okay, you were hidden. Thank you. King of Clowns, you have been trolling my channel for months. When are you going to learn? It's not going to happen. If I have nothing but complaints and they're legitimate complaints, then they're legitimate complaints. What I want from you, King of Clowns, is I want you to come to Bahal and say that directly to me. And then we'll see what you think about how I go about making a proper fix on your complaint. I will fix it properly. You have been nothing but a troll. Why you keep using the same name and trolling my channel is beyond me. I will block every one of Richie Buang's friends and the Fat Slob's friends. I will block every one if it means blocking 1,000 more people to not have troll comments on my page. Well, then I'll just block 1,000 more people. You're not going to get me upset that I'm complaining so much. I am complaining because of the lack of business ethics in the Philippines. And you say that's not a legitimate complaint. That's because you have never been in business. You are not taking time away from your daily routine to deal with people that don't do business properly. And you are a troll. I will aggressively go to people's pages and boy, we did it again. Okay, I did it again. Thank you. I will aggressively go to people's pages and just block everybody. Richie Buang has many videos where I blocked Cebu Bossman. That's because I don't like what Cebu Bossman said about me. I don't like the fact that Cebu Bossman is such pals with the Fat Slob, who is constantly making videos about me. I don't like what Kenny and Subic, I think his name is Kenny. I don't like that Kenny and Subic supports the Slob. I don't need any of those people who support the Slob on my channel. See, there we go again. Richie Buang will be a legend. I can make Richie Buang famous. I can do that. Believe me when I tell you, I have the ability to make Richie Buang famous. But he has to come here, like he promised. And he promised to come here, and I don't see him here. So I can only make you famous if you come here, and I do a live stream with you in it. I'll make you famous. So let me get the pot. Where is the pot? Oh my God! Don't tell me I don't have the pot. The pot. Somebody get me a pot. Is it possible? Hold on. It is possible. The pot is inside my warehouse. Oh. That's not fair. I'm going to have to buy a fictitious pot. I have a backup. I don't like using it. Yeah? Yeah, that's what I think I'll do. I'll go to Richie Buang's page, and I will proactively remove every single person on his page and proactively block them. And then you guys can come back and... oh, yeah, there is another guy, G. Boone. Let's say thank you. Thank you, Bantayan Brola Salamat. So, what I am getting now, as far as the trolls are concerned, we have a guy named G. Boone. G. Boone, if you're listening, let me tell you something, G. Boone. You have never been anything more than a mediocre blogger. You have never, ever contributed anything to YouTube of any real value from your channel or the house that you built or how you built the house. Even though I've known you for about 7 years, you have never contributed anything to my channel. Monetarily wise, nothing. Playlist wise, nothing. Thumbs up, I have no idea. And then you're on that piece of Works channel saying, I used to be friends with Fazio, but no more. Well, dude, you're a mediocre blogger who's never contributed anything to YouTube. Why would I care if you're my friend? All my friends are alpha males. We are all go-getters and achievers. We are all people that have gone after life aggressively and at least tried to get the gold ring. G. Boone, you have been a slouch, in my opinion, your entire life. Based on your video uploads and what you have achieved, you're a slouch. I don't care whether you're on my channel or not, and I don't even care that you make note that you used to be my friend. You were my friend. You were a man who made comments on my channel, and there was a certain amount of back and forth. But as a blogger, as a YouTuber, as a contributor to the knowledge base of the Philippines, you're less than mediocre at best. Why would I care if you stayed on my channel? Why would I even care that you say, I used to be Fazio's friend, but no more? Hey, all of you people out there, all of you, quit my channel. We just have a guy that just posted under 4 different names or 3 different names. That's a troll. Last week we had one 5 times, same guy 5 times. Then we had the Yakking Man, who's been a troll for years under the same name, but of course new channels that he has to make for the same name. You guys have some kind of mental insecurity in your head that you think by trolling me, somehow you benefit somebody else's channel. What I look at you as the invalids of the world, that you've never achieved anything. Get off my channel. You're another troll. Off my channel. Out of here, Hulk Hogan. I never liked you, and I never will. You're another troll. You started crap with me 2 years ago. You think I forget your name? Off my channel. You guys are the mediocre people of the world. You could never achieve anything on your own. if any of you were ever alpha males, which is what this channel is about, the alpha male channel, then you would not criticize my efforts to buy a rebar bender and understand that what I say is true. Number one, I've never been caught in a lie. And number two, I've tried and failed, but not to my problem. That wasn't my problem that I failed. It was always somebody else. Goldberger. The Philippines is, whether or not it's worth going to, it's not worth going to. If you have to do business here, it's hard. It's really hard. And this goes from, wow, I'll give you a for instance, but I'm not done yet. Salamat, la la la. Thank you, Bantayan brawler. Salamat means we thank you a lot. Thank you, Bantayan brawler. Let me give you a for instance of where the range. Hey, Pedro, I remember Pedro has always been a friendly on my channel. Thanks for stopping by. I remember everybody's name, by the way, pretty much. So let me give you another for instance of how it is to the person that said, you've convinced me not to move to the Philippines. Let me show you a real life example. I have it in my bag. Okay, well, you've convinced me not to. What happened to that message? Flying Circus, you're going to have to be careful. Let me check this out. You got to be careful of who you block. I'm not sure that comment was a legitimate comment, but all right, well, we're going to have to bypass. But let me give you an example. I'll show this to you. I have the item in my bag. Last week, at the prawn farm, I told you that I bought a power pack from a guy, a street vendor, in where I live, Poblacion. The guy didn't speak much English. Turns out he is... He's a poor guy trying to make a business. He's got like 2,000 plus items on display. 3 guys come in the morning and set up huge displays, 6 feet high by 7, 8, 9, 10 feet wide, 5 feet wide, and 7 feet wide. He's got several thousand items, jewelry, rings, all inexpensive stuff. So I wanted to buy a backup battery charger for my cell phone, so I could do more than 4 hours of live streaming at wherever, out on the street, whatever. So you have to have a battery. I'm getting it out of my bag. You have to have a battery backup, a charging unit. Okay, I got it. Okay, so this one I bought about an Asus. I bought it about 3 years ago, and it failed. It failed. It won't charge. Apparently, they have a lifespan, whatever. And I don't know, it was 800 pesos. So I went back. I went to the store to the name of my phone, the Galaxy Samsung. I went to Samsung and I asked them for a battery backup. And they said, yes, sir, we have one. It was $50. And it's about a little bit bigger than this. And I didn't want anything bigger than this, because if it's taller than this, I just didn't want it anything tall. I wanted it about the same size, because it fits on the side. I'll show it to you. It fits on the side of my stand that I built. So I wanted one that's only 4 inches tall. So right here, I wanted one that's only as high as the stand I built. The one that they had at Samsung was like 2 inches higher, and it would interfere. It would interfere with the mechanism that holds the camera. So I didn't want to really spend $50 on something that's going to interfere with something else that I'm going to do. Plus, it was very heavy, much heavier than the one I got here. So it's already enough weight that I have on this item. So I didn't buy it. So I saw this guy. He's always been there. He's been there for years. Vendor in Poblacion. This is to give you an idea what it's like doing business here. So he sells me, on the way home from the city that day, when I realized that they were $50, I'm going, the street vendors sell stuff for half the price of the stores because they don't have the overhead. So do I want to buy something from a street vendor? Not really, but Samsung only had one that was like 7 inches tall. So it was like this much taller. It was like this much taller than the one I wanted. Yeah, that buzz, that is from, that's definitely there. What it is, another thing that only lasts 3 years. It's my battery backup. My battery backup, the batteries last about 1.5 to 2 years. So now it's buzzing to let me know I have to put a new battery in it. And I just don't care. So, but thank you for letting me know. And so I don't want one that's 7 inches tall. It interferes with what I do. Okay, it's not what I want. So I go to a street vendor that I know is there for 5 years, the same guy on the same corner. Like by bicycle, it's 7-minute ride to him, not a problem. So I buy it. I buy the battery backup on the way home from the city. The next day, I went to the buffet, and the girl plugged in the charging unit, and it blew up. I showed you that at the prawn farm, that the charging unit completely blew up. Not the power pack, but the little charging unit that looks like this. Little charge. It just blew up. And the piece shot across the entire prawn farm. Could have hurt that girl. Could have took out her eye. It was a large explosion. How big of an explosion for such a little piece of equipment? It was super loud and super powerful. This thing blew up internally. All the parts just disintegrated. So I didn't, on the way home, I brought it home. I bought it on the way there, and on the way home, I brought it back, and the guy gave me a new charger. Showed me that it charged. Okay, the unit wasn't blown up. The cable was not blown up. I go home, and I charge it up to 100%, because you have to charge it to 100%. It's in the manual. Has to be charged to 100% to use it the first time. I charge it up, and I let the phone go down to almost 0, and I plug it in, and it says that the battery backup is incompatible with your phone. For faster charging, purchase a charger that's compatible to your phone, aka go to the Samsung store and buy their charger. Apparently there's some code in there that it will either let it charge or it won't. So I go back, I take my bicycle up to Poblacion, and I bring the charging unit back in the original box, in the plastic. Everything is good to go. And I said to him, I don't know his name. I never asked him his name. Nice guy, but I don't need to know his name. This will not charge my phone. And he said, yes, sir, you have the wrong cable. Okay. Do you have the right cable? Yes, sir. So he gave me to plug in, for the time being, the right cable. And then it showed that it was charging for about 20 seconds. And then the same message popped up. You have to buy a compatible charger to your phone. Okay, so I showed him the message. He said, yes, sir. I says, okay, well, can you return my money? You know, he's being nice. I'll be nice. No, sir. Well, it doesn't work. Yes, sir. You can use it for something else. I said, no, I don't want to use it for something else. I'd rather have my money back. So bottom line is, the next thing he said was exchange it for something else. Okay, that's reasonable. I don't really need anything else that he has. So I picked a Bluetooth speaker. We plugged in the Bluetooth speaker. We connected it to my phone. Worked fine. It was almost the same price, 100 pesos difference. 100 pesos less than what I paid for the charger, which was 600. This was 500. And I says, okay, I'll take that. And it has a nice little flashlight on there. I don't know how you turn it on. I got to put my glass. It has a flashlight, which is worth something in and of itself. Flashlights are invaluable here in the Philippines with all the blackouts we get. And, okay, there you go. So it has a flasher. So when you're walking down the road, and then it shuts off, and then on, and then the flasher, and we're good to go. So it wasn't a bad deal that I got from the guy, because I can hook this up to my bicycle when I'm driving at night, running around at night. This is worth more than the battery backup. So now I know two things that I'm going to share with you. One, if you have a cell phone, the company that makes the cell phone may have a code inside the cell phone that will only accept a certain backup, battery backup, or battery recharging unit, whatever it is, whatever they call that. So number one, you have to check when if you're doing business on the street with a vendor, he may not be there tomorrow. He may not be there for a month, and then it's too late. This guy I know for several years. I always say hello to him when we walk by. It's not a problem. But he wouldn't give me back my money, and I didn't really care about that. As soon as he said, get something else, I said, okay, there's got to be something here I want. The guy has 2,000 items on display. I'll take something else. But this is what you get. Even though you know the man, even though you see him every time you go to that store or near that store, they're still not going to return your money. They don't want to give you back your money. So I exchanged it for something 100 pesos less in value. I was happy. I got a light that I can put on my bicycle, which I needed anyway. So I actually was going to buy a light for my bicycle. So when I ride around at night, I have a light on the bike. So it worked out well. But you have to be careful when you buy stuff here, because if you buy a battery backup that's not comparable to your cell phone, you may lose your investment of 600 or 800 or 900 pesos, because that's what they typically charge. And they may not give you back your money, and they may not let you exchange it. Because if it's more than a few days, they may just say, sorry, sir, no exchanges after 7 days, because that's normal in the Philippines. So doing business here is difficult, because the people here, they don't have a cushion of money to work with. That guy, when I said, can you give me back my money, he said, no, sir. He was sure about that. Arguing with that guy at that point would have been stupid, because I was sure that he said, no, sir, he wasn't going to give me back my money. And don't expect to get your money back here in the Philippines. Don't expect to get a return after 7 days. That's the hard part. And most of the stuff here doesn't last 7 days. I bought a 39,000 peso computer 3.5 years ago. I took it home and it failed. I brought it back the next day. They didn't want to give me back my money. Even though I had a 7-day warranty, they weren't going to give me back my money. They were not going to do it. They said, buy another computer. The next computer was 60,000 pesos. That's 21,000 pesos more. I don't want a 60,000 peso computer. I just wanted a piece of junk to get me through till I bought a good computer. This was a store, a certified, bona fide, legal internet shop in BQ Mall, which doesn't exist anymore because apparently they don't keep enough of their agreements that they went out of business. But so even though it said 7-day money-back guarantee, what they told me it meant is 7-day refund policy, return policy. This is hard to do business here. You guys trolling my channel, you're not going to get me to back down. Nobody, none of you are going to get me to back down. I know the difference of how to do business. I was in business for 38 years. We went through this. I dare anybody, anywhere in this world to find even one complaint against my name in business in 38 years in New York City or Florida. I dare you to find one. There aren't any because I never had a complaint in 38 years of doing business. So don't tell me how to do business or I complain too much. I have had a legitimate business for 38 years and never had a single complaint. There you go again, trolling my channel. I'll take care of this guy. I'll take care of him. Never had a complaint. You guys are a trip, man. You're another loser, I would imagine, Alan. Yeah? Another loser. If you just come to troll my channel, I just block you. As I don't even deal with the trolls for more than just a few seconds. You got your 10 seconds of fame. You have shown your master, the slob or Richie. I went to Fazio's channel and I said something negative about Fazio. You're not going to change the way I live my life. You're not going to change my lifestyle one bit. And you're not going to change all the things I've accomplished in my life with a comment on YouTube. That's just not. See, I'm an alpha male. You're a beta male. If you would have listened to what I said, you would understand I'm correct. You would not try to contradict what I said because you're a beta male. You're an underachiever is what you are, in my opinion. Possibly you're a paraplegic. Possibly you're handicapped in some way where you can't walk or write, or you may be sequestered to a bed for all I know. So I won't put you down for being less than human, but I will tell you that your comments aren't going to affect how I do business here in the Philippines. Not one bit. You are an underachiever, a beta male at best, and you're trying to knock me out of the park to be an alpha male. Dude, my accomplishments prove that I'm an alpha male. Your negative comments and trolling comments prove you're a beta male. Again, I'll say it one more time. If you were an alpha male, you wouldn't condemn me for making an observation, and that's what this is, an observation. Okay? So I'm going to go now. I'm going to call up LAZADA. I'm going to send Richmark Industries the mail that when I finalize another mail to LAZADA to their customer support, I'll send Richmark Industries my review, my 12 emails of back and forth with Richmark Industries. Richmark Industries gets a failing mark, in my opinion, and maybe LAZADA will finally wake up and stop doing business with them. Maybe not. But in the meantime, now I have another option to buy another rebar bender, a Belton, which is what I want, and now I have to explore that other option. So that's going to be another day or so of conversations and phone calls and whatnot, and then we'll see if I get the RB32. I want an RB32. They want to keep trying to sell me an RB25. It's not what I want. So they have another thing here that they do in the Philippines. They advertise an RB32 2-in-1 cutter, and when you call them up, they have an RB25, no 2-in-1 cutter. They don't have the 32, but they have a 25, but it's not, excuse me, RB Bender. RB means rebar bender 32. They advertise an RB 32 bender, but they only have an RB 25. It won't do the job that I wanted to do, that I needed to do. So don't come on my channel and troll me. I'll just keep blocking you. I'll just keep blocking you, I promise. I'll actively go to every single person on the Slob's channel and Richie Buong's channel. I'll actively go there and block you individually, one at a time. I'll spend that time so I don't have to see you on my page. And anybody that goes to the Slob's channel, from now on, please don't come to my channel. I don't care who you are. And that includes Ed Lippert. If you like the Slob and you like me, make a choice, Ed. I don't really care whether you choose me or the Slob, but it can't be both. You know that the Slob devoted his life to being basically a degenerate. You know that I have never done anything to the degenerate level that the Slob does. You have to make a choice, Ed. Either choose me or choose the Slob. Richie, of course, will make a video where Fazio challenges Ed Lippert to make a choice, and I don't care what your choice is, Ed. I've been your friend for years. You've been my friend for years, but eventually the fact that you're friends with, in my opinion, a total degenerate, you have to make a choice. So you can either go to the Slob's channel and don't come to my channel, or choose my channel and don't go to the Slob's channel. And you can watch both. But I refuse to have anybody from the Slob's channel on my channel commenting, good or bad. I don't want to see your name. Or Richie Buong. You allow that stuff to go on. Even Ed has defended me in the past, but still he allows the Slob to degenerate me. Okay, I'll take care of that. Oh, somebody beat me to it. So, you people are all persona non grata. And Dennis, I had something else. Thank you, Dennis. All right, so I'll see you guys later. I'll let you know. I'll give you another update. When you see the 500,000 pesos in the thumbnail, well, that is that will mean it's a review on LAZADA or Richmark Industries. That will be the logos for my reviews for LAZADA and Richmark Industries and any other company I try to do business with. So I have one more company that has a belt on. I'm going to try to buy an RB32 and see you guys later. I'm Pink Permy, Bantayan Brawler, thank you. Andrew Steinmetz, thank you. Dennis Adams, thank you. And let's see, anybody else? Pedro Rojas Cervantes, always been a good man on my channel. Mark Goldberger, you've convinced me the Philippines is not worth it. I'm going to Panama instead. If you have to do business, this is what you're going to be up against. Now, this is going on. I have hundreds of videos. This went on with the building department. It went on with the permitting department. It went on with the fire department for the fire escape. It went on with the co-op for the height clearance. It went on with the lawyer to write up the contract. It went on to the architect to write the contract. It went on to the intermediary agent between myself and the co-op for the height clearance. It went on with the co-op not fulfilling their paperwork in a timely fashion. It's everything across the board. And it's not me only. The lady next door who owns the hotel next door said she had the exact same problems with every venue I just mentioned. It's right across the board, the inability for the people to perform the function that they get paid to perform. It's just that simple. I'm Ping Permy from the Philippines, baby, which means take care always. Patrick Barker. Bye-bye, Patrick. Thanks for stopping by. Patrick, you should while you're on my stream, you should post a link to your page. Patrick has an alligator called Gotti. I'll give Patrick a minute. I want to get a bottle of water. I got water here. So, Patrick, I'll give you a moment to post the link to your page. If you want to see a real live alligator, it's 4 feet long now, but Patrick bought the alligator when he was about 6 inches long. And now it's 4 feet. I don't know how much it weighs. So, Patrick, please, by all means, you have a wrench so you can post on my page. And thank you. Yeah, this is a trip, man. This is a trip living here. And who knows? I mean, it was the same thing buying the cement mixer. They sold me a cement mixer for 60,000 pesos, brand new. It had tires on it. And when I went to pick it up, it had 2 bologna skins on it and one was flat. Thank you, Dennis. Patrick Barker's link. Yeah, so the cement mixer had regular tires with air in it. They were not new, but they were good. Thank you, Dennis. And when I came back the next day to pick up the machine, it had 2 bologna skins on it and one was flat, and it was just a useless tire. They had to go get a tire. So I spent 3 hours there to make sure, thank you, Flying Circus, to make sure that the item was going to get delivered. It didn't get delivered that day, which is supposed to. The next morning, they come with a truck, a flatbed truck with 4 men on the truck. I have the video. 4 men on the truck. The unit weighs 1,200 pounds. And they came with 2 planks about 10 feet long, which would have put a ramp on the truck at about a 40-degree angle. No way on earth 4 people could lower that down the ramp without it. And the ramp was they were only 8-inch boards, number one. There's no way they could, because they would have had to start tipping down the ramp, and they didn't have a rope to lay out the slack in the line. So it would have got past the center of gravity and it would have shot down to the floor. We would have threw it out when it hit the ground. So they had to go back and get longer planks. And when they came back, I decided I would use my planks that were buried, and I took my planks out, my 16-foot planks out, because they brought back 12-foot planks. You don't have a clue what these people can do. They get hired to do a job, and they have no idea how to get the job done. Some of them do, some of them don't. Most don't. And those guys would have been happy to drop that cement mixer down on those 10-foot planks, and if it broke, they would say they were sorry. Who would be responsible? I already paid for the unit. It would be my fault. Never pay for anything in the Philippines until it's in your possession and it works. That's my best advice. Bye-bye for now. See you guys in a few hours, because I'm coming back. I'm being Permy from the Philippines, baby, which means take care always. That's